All right, this is the tournament coverage for the NADGT Championship Qualifier down in Seguin, Texas. I put out a practice video for this course a couple weeks ago, but we're starting on hole 17. Really, all you want to do is miss that first big tree in the middle, and I end up hitting one of the branches and kicking off to the right. Luckily, it is a fairly short par 4. This is my approach shot. Here, we did have some video issues, so I just leave it too short and I end up hitting another tree, leave my approach short, miss my putt, and tap in for a bogey. Hole 18, very short corridor shot, 243 feet. I'm throwing the arrowhead, and I just pull it really hard left. Leaves me with about a 60-footer pin high. And I just leave it short because I don't practice it enough as a tap in par. Now we're onto the front of the course. Hole 1, 353-foot par 3, just straight between these two lines of trees all the way down at the end near the fence. And I pull my shot a little left as well as turn it over. Not ideal, but leave myself with a 60-foot look for birdie. Again, I leave it short. Another tap in par on hole 1. Very easy. Hole 2, 499 feet. Another par 4. A relatively straightforward shot just down the corridor of trees again. I'm throwing the curl here, throw it on a hyzer flip turn line, get a pretty good shot. Nice full flight out of this. Leaves me with about 180, 200 feet to the basket. And for some reason, starting the round, I was pulling all my shots to the left. You can see the frustration there. This hole should be a very easy birdie, but because of my really bad approach shot, I just have a tap in par. Hole 3 here, 330-foot par 3, just straight down the gap here. There's a row of trees along the left side, so you want to play a Anheuser line for lefties. And I just turn it over a little too much. I get a kick off the tree, but I'm about 100 or so feet short. I'm just going to throw the armadillo here for a easy approach. Left it a little to the left and a little long. It gives me about a 25, 30-foot look for par. Tickle chains left side. Unfortunate. Leaves me with another bogey on hole 3. I'm 2 over through 5 holes. Hole 4, 280-foot par 3, just straight up the gap, right next to that tree off in the distance, about 30 foot behind it into the right. And I just was in my head from the previous hole, pull it high and hit the first available. Here I'm throwing an Artemis low skip line, leaves me with about a 10-foot putt for par. Hole 5, 300-foot par 3. For me, because I'm a lefty, it's a long turnover line. I'm throwing the Oracle again, similar to how I did on hole 3. I don't throw it with as much Anheuser like I did on hole 3, but because of the power I put in it, it just continued to turn over and never fought out of it. I have about a 50-foot look for birdie here. And out of the hand, I knew it was off. I just threw it way too high, a tap in par. Hole 6, 275 foot, par 3. First forehand of the round. This course does suit really well to my backhand, so I didn't really have to throw a whole lot of forehands here. Because I'm not super good with the forehand, I have about a 40 to 45 foot putt from here. Felt decent out the hand, but just a tad too high. Another tap in par. Hole 7. It's in the shade of those trees to the right of the white tree right in the center of your screen. I want to throw a straight shot with a reliable fade at the end between the fence and the left side of the white tree. That's exactly what I do, but it just never got high enough for me, so I leave myself with a 120 foot look for birdie. I just want to forehand something up there, and I turn over my harpoon, so I end up with a 35 foot putt here for par, and I just leave it short. As we're moving on to hole 8, I am feeling really confident in my ability to score on the back 9, but for some reason my GoPro did not get any footage of hole 8, so this is hole 9. It is a 630 foot par 5. I leave my first shot high and too much hyzer. My second shot was really good, which leaves me with a 60 foot putt for eagle. I try to do a jump step putt and I was just a tad short, but I get my first birdie of the round on hole 9. Hole 10, 315 foot par 3 downhill straight shot. I have a really good turnover with a nice fade back ends me with a 25 foot putt for birdie. And now I'm starting to feel confident after 2 birdies in a row. Hole 11, straight shot, a little turn at the very end. I throw my lariat, but I just turn it over. Somehow sneaks through all of those branches and leaves me pin high, but about 40 feet to the left of the pin. Another one that felt good out of the hand, but was just a little short. Easy tap in par. Hole 12, 330 feet, slightly downhill, but straight ahead. I'm throwing the Frio here, and I get a little bit of flip up and turn out of it, but I don't throw it far enough left. I end up about 40 feet from the basket here, right up next to this tree. And I hit the band, so another tap in par. Hole 13, another of the 2 par 5s. I want to leave something down the center tunnel here, but I pull it left, kick off the tree. To my surprise, I have a lane all the way down to the basket from here. So I throw the Frio again with a lot more hyzer. It stands up, flies for a very long period of time, and I end up behind a tree. But my GoPro overheats and I miss the approach. This leaves me with a 10 foot tap in birdie on the second par 5 of the course, bringing me back to even for the round. Hole 14, 260 foot par 3. Just a straight shot. I'm throwing the harpoon here out to the left with a little bit of skip, and I end up sliding all the way up next to the basket for another tap in birdie. That makes 2 in a row and brings me to 1 under for the round. Hole 15, 430 foot par 4. There's a tree right in front of the tee box, so I want to throw a hyzer flip to turn curl. I get the hyzer flip, but I guess I put a little too much hyzer on it, and it never ends up turning. But I end up about 400 feet up the fairway, so I have about a 30 to 40 foot look here for eagle. And I just end up a little short. But that's okay. Another birdie is a-okay with me, moving me to 2 under for the round. Last hole, hole 16, 371 foot par 3. I'm throwing the lariat. It had been turning over on me all day, so I make the correction, put a lot of hyzer on it. It flips up, gets a little turn, and fade back underneath the basket for a drop-in birdie. I end the round with 4 birdies in a row to get to 3 under for the round, which puts me in 6th place, tied on trail card. So stay tuned for the second round and see how I do.